Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Well, now at 6, a man charged in connection to a shooting at a funeral faced a judge today. Good evening and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. The shooting happened Friday inside a Hartford church. Fox 61's Jamel Johnson reports from Hartford Superior Court.
The man accused in this incident is 34-year-old Joshua Smelly. His defense attorney did try to get his $1 million bond lowered, but a judge denied that request. Smelly faces several charges, including first-degree assault, criminal possession of a firearm, and criminal use of a firearm. Police say Smelly and his family were attending a funeral for Miss Ida Hawkins Green when gunshots rang out.
Disturbing allegations that a firearm was pulled and fired in a fight that escalated quickly in the back of a funeral in a church, and an individual was actually shot, as well as that there was children and several people present simply attending the funeral.
According to a police report, officers interviewed family members who attended the funeral. They told officers Smelly punched their great-aunt before a fight broke out. One family member also told police that they saw Smelly pull out a gun and fire into the crowd. During the chaos, police say one woman was grazed with a bullet and someone else was stabbed. Police officers stayed on scene and assisted with the rest of the funeral. They arrested Smelly the same day. Prosecutors say he has a lengthy criminal record.
His last conviction was February of 2024 for operating under suspension, 3 months suspended, a year of probation. In 2014, Your Honor, he has a conviction for criminal possession of a firearm, burglary in the third degree. Record dates back to 2010. Convictions for larceny 2 with a VOP.
Both the bail commissioner and the prosecution recommended his bond remain at $1 million.
For that $1 million bond and to affirm that 30%.
While his defense team asked for a lower bond.
He's a stay-at-home father. He has a 1-year-old, 5-year-old, 7-year-old, and 10-year-old. He cares for the kids with his girlfriend, who was at the alleged incident. I would ask Your Honor to adopt a much lower bond if possible. As I mentioned, he is a stay-at-home father, has basically no ability to post bond as a result, given his caretaking duties of his children.
The judge denied the defense's request and kept Smelly's bond at $1 million. Police have confirmed that both victims were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Smelly's next court date is June 25th. In Hartford, Jamel Johnson, Fox 61.
Jamel, thank you. We have breaking news right now out of Waterbury, where police are investigating after a car hit a boy who was riding a bicycle. This happened just before 4 p.m. on Bishop Street. They say a 13-year-old boy was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. The driver did stay at the scene, and we are told that scene cleared moments ago.
This week is looking much drier than it did last week. You can look forward to sunny and warm days.
I know I am, but showers will pop in and out. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank is here with the first check of the forecast. Rach.
Yeah, the bottom line is drier, but not dry. But definitely a big improvement compared to last week. So during the day tomorrow, warmer temperatures. We'll begin the day with sun. Then we'll see increasing clouds as we head through the afternoon. But our beautiful stretch of weather continues into tomorrow. That's the bottom line there. And then we'll see an increasing chance for showers Wednesday and Thursday. But we're not going to see washouts like we had in place last week. Here's a look at the radar. And this is the reason why last week we had a stalled weather pattern that was directly over us. This week, the stalled weather pattern remains to the southwest. However, parts of that will start to creep into Connecticut. We're going to be kind of on the eastern fringe of things. Temperatures right now are in the 70s for most of the state, although cooler 60s towards the immediate shoreline. It's 75 right now for Windsor Locks, but we're in the 50s in Groton. Overnight lows will dip back into the 50s tonight, which is not as chilly as it was when you woke up this morning. Maybe you went for a hot coffee instead of an iced coffee. And heading into your Tuesday, we'll see some sunshine to start off the day, partly cloudy skies as we head through the afternoon. High temperatures will be in the mid and even upper 70s inland, although closer to 70 for the immediate shoreline, and a rising chance for showers for the middle of the week. And the humidity returns too. We'll talk about it. Your full forecast is coming up in just a bit.
Thank you, Rachel. Right now and for the next 90 days, the U.S. and China have agreed to slash tariffs. It's reported the U.S. agreed to drop the 145% tax to now 30%. China agreed to lower its tariff rate on U.S. goods from 125% to 10%. In the meantime, the countries will negotiate a better agreement. Investors are uncertain, though, about whether this truce will last. But the stock market reacted positively today. The Dow and S&P 500 have erased all their losses from the early April tariff day announcement. The Dow has exited correction territory, while the tech-heavy NASDAQ is out of a bear market. We'll have more details on the deal and how this will impact your spending. That's coming up.
Yeah, meanwhile, the tariffs on imported vehicles and auto parts are in full swing. The White House says the goal is to get American automakers to do more of their car building here in the U.S. and to do so using more parts made here in the U.S. We're about a month and a half in, so how's it going? Well, Fox 61's Tim Lammers spoke with the chief editor of Kelley Blue Book and Auto Trader about the impact felt in the U.S. so far.
I think it's going to lead cars to be made in one location. You know, right now, a car would be made here, sent to Canada, sent to Mexico, sent all over the place. It's ridiculous.
It's been more than a month since tariffs went into effect on imported vehicles, and a little more than a week since the Trump administration slapped tariffs on most imported auto parts. Now, Brian Moody is the chief editor of Kelley Blue Book and Auto Trader. He said some companies are doing better than others.
So the ones that are going to be in good shape would be like Ford, for example, maybe Tesla, maybe Nissan for some models where they build the car in the U.S. The tough ones are going to be vehicles that are imported as a whole unit from overseas into this country. They're going to incur the 25% tariff without a way of reducing that.
Those are the companies that do more of the assembling and sourcing of auto parts here in the States. But Moody said even cars that are made in America are not 100% made in America.
And I would say most cars, it's probably 40 to 60% at the most in terms of when you take in the parts. So there's no such thing as everything is done in the U.S. And that's done for a variety of reasons, most of them designed to keep the price affordable for me and you.
So what about the consumer? Moody said unless you need a car, don't let the talk of tariffs sway you into jumping into buying one.
If you don't need to get a new car this year, then don't. If that wasn't part of your plan, don't let headlines get you into a market that you don't need to be in.
But if you do need to buy a car, Moody said, do not wait.
If you have a change in your family situation, or you have a car that was wrecked, or it just is going to die, you know it's going to die any minute, or your lease is expiring. But if I was you and I was in that situation, I would speed that process up a little bit just because that inventory is going to dwindle.
Moody said popular cars like Toyota, Honda, and Lexus have a less than 30-day supply on many dealer lots and can be hard to come by.
The ones that we all think of as go-tos, if your particular thing is reliability and I don't want to think about it anymore, those cars are the first to go to low inventory because everybody's thinking the same thing. They don't want to, they don't want to bother with it.
He said you may have better luck checking out vehicles that are in lower demand because there should be more of them.
That's where I would look if you could find something that you like. And that's brands like around 100 or a little bit above, Land Rover, Mini, Dodge, Lincoln. Some of those have quite abundant inventory.
I'm Tim Lammers, Fox 61.
And if you're curious to hear more on this topic, Doug Stewart, our digital executive producer and host of Carpinionated, has an in-depth talk with Moody about auto tariffs, rising used car prices, and whether leasing a car is a good idea right now. You can watch the full conversation on the latest episode of Carpinionated, which drops tonight at 8 p.m. on our streaming service, Fox 61 Plus.
Thousands of workers at Pratt Whitney were back on the picket line for week 2 of the strike. This is a look at workers this morning in East Hartford. Congressman Joe Courtney met with them today. Senator Richard Blumenthal also spoke with the workers in Middletown this afternoon. Workers recently rejected a proposed 3-year contract and say they want better pay and better retirement benefits.
And new here at 6, a Meriden man faces charges after police say they found a teen with a gun and drugs on the Meriden Green last month, I should say. Police investigated reports of drugs and drug dealing and guns at the Meriden Green on April. We're told Osvaldo Rivera gave the teen a revolver when he saw police on the green, and that teen was caught and charged with carrying a pistol and possessing narcotics. Police later learned it was Rivera who gave the gun and drugs to the teen. Police say Rivera is a convicted felon. He he is not allowed to own a firearm. He is currently being held on $225,000 bond, and his charges include possession of narcotics, criminal possession of a firearm, and risk of injury to a minor. It's unclear when he is due in court. Well, power is restored in a New Britain neighborhood after a car crashed into a utility pole there. We're told it caused a minor outage. The crash happened at the corner of Corbin Avenue and Clinton Street, and only one car was involved, and thankfully, no one was hurt.
Shelton police are investigating a deadly crash that happened late last night. Officials were called to River Road and Montgomery Street just after 11. We're told 2 cars crashed into each other. 2 people were in one car, 1 person was in the other. The 2 people are expected to be okay, but the driver died at the hospital. Police say they won't release the name until they have notified family.